John Comba?
Oui.
He is the chief. He's the man. Le boss, the professor.
Donc, à très bientôt.
Ani Sukoma? Ika kene?
This is an adventure of a lifetime.
On our journey, we had to get out of the van many times to walk through crocodile swamps and past obstructions so that the vehicle could get through and take us to the village of Balea.
Merci.
On the outskirts of the village of Balea, we are met by the Hunters clan, the Wassalut. Hunters came from Guinea and walked into Mali, the villages all around. They were carrying muskets, ancient muskets, some tied together with rope, looking to be about 100 and 150 years old. Flintlocks. Our gathering here was being celebrated. His Mansa was being welcomed by a crew of village elders, including his brother, who's a head griot of the village. The man with the white cowboy hat on is Mansa's brother. He is the head griot of the village. We were greeted by young women holding gourds full of water, fruit and peanuts as we were being led into a huge circle of well over 1,000 people from the village and beyond. And we were all entreated to take part in dancing in the celebrations. It was unbelievable. The care and the kindness with which we were treated at this moment was beyond my expectations, or beyond what I could possibly conceive of this trip. The magnitude with which everything was running was something out of Gulliver's Travels. And we were indeed welcomed to the commune of Callaloo with open arms, with such respect and love. We were crying and laughing at the same time out of complete joy. Namou, that means right on. The village elders here are declaring their desire to show us all that they can with regard to their hospitality, their rituals, and their lifestyle in the village of Balea. This is our first night in Balea. Everybody danced. Our first night here in Balea was like being transported into outer space. I absolutely could not believe what I was witnessing. The intensity and joy of these celebrations went on all night long, well beyond our mortal capabilities. We Canadians finally absolutely collapsed, and the party kept going. We had brought a generator and microphones and a PA, and there's no electricity in this village, or running water for that matter. And so it was very exciting for people here to have this kind of music and party going on.
Now his father's grave is under the mosque.
Mansa's uncle Femikan points out the fact that Mansa's father has been buried underneath the mosque. It was a very powerful moment for Mansa, as he had very little contact with his father throughout his life. At this point, we are entering into what would be considered the parliament buildings of Balea. We're now presenting the chief of the village with traditional gift of kola nuts, and the chief who is now being approached, we were to be seeing him very little as he was suffering from acute malaria at the time. The chiefs and elders here are pointing out the value of the visit of Mansa and the Canadians, the impact that it has on their village life, and the importance for them to support Mansa as a griot, so that he can go about and carry on the important work of keeping the family traditions alive, education, history, and the awareness of what's going on in Balea outside of the Balea village itself, to the benefit of all.
Numansa koto yambi nde kilina yambide ndo onka fieda nde kilina yambide sintenya yambide bartenya barinya konse ke lablato nde de sela nyi ko hanama ate nyungo ka ho konya men hana kala konse ke labaka nkum kusebe awo nyale mba ala sigi mba wata ko dima mba nin saya manke mba
Mba. That's how it goes. Vous savez. You know it. All the elders join in prayer as the session is finished. Popping out of the jungle. After which we found ourselves at a clearing where there was a thatched hut and the remnants of other huts, only a few of them. And Mansa's uncle pointed out that the spot that we were at that present time was where Mansa was born, and it was an extremely moving moment. Then later on we hiked all the way to these falls, which are called the Suitcases, and witnessed their glory.
Oh, he gets himself up. He's trying and trying.
Here we are visiting the imams of the village of Balea, who represent the Muslim faith. The village elders in Balé are very aware of the sweep of the Muslim faith coming across Africa. Because of that, and because they saw how respectful and caring we were in trying to document as much as possible of our trip and what is going on in the village of Balé, they were very excited to show us as much about their life and their traditional animist rituals as possible. And it was unbelievable, the amount of information and the rituals that were being presented to us at every moment. There were dances and rituals representing fertility, circumcision, sex, farming, education, marriage, you name it. Everything was accompanied by a ceremony and by music. Every moment was fecund, full of this type of celebration and ceremony.